What is up, my crafty friends? Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I'm really excited you're here. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I cannot believe it's 2022 already. Oh my goodness, this year is just gonna fly by like last year did. Did you make a New Year's resolution? I know I did. I made a promise to myself that I'm gonna learn something new every single month. I don't care if it's just to expand on the knowledge that I've already got, or if it's learning a completely new skill. I know sometimes we get complacent in life, and I've always heard if you are not learning, then you're not growing. So I definitely want to keep growing as a crafter and as a person, and I'm really excited to kick off 2022. If you made a New Year's resolution, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to know what that is, and if you need any help sticking to that resolution, just let me know, and I'm right there for you, my friend. Y'all, can you believe it is time to reveal our February tiered tray box? I cannot wait to show y'all what is in this awesome box this month. But before we get started, I need to say a big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. This awesome online learning community is going to really help me stick to that New Year's resolution, because they've got classes in animation, creative writing, film and video, fine arts, graphic design, music, photography, and so much more, y'all. I'm never going to run out of something new to learn as long as I've got Skillshare. This month, I really want to expand on my graphic design skills. I don't have a lot of those skills, so I'm really excited about this class by Brooke Glaser. It's called Intro to Procreate, illustrating on the iPad. And y'all, this is a 2022 update. One of the great benefits that I love about Skillshare is there's never any ads. They've always got premium classes that are launching each week, so you can always find something to keep you motivated. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description box will get a free 1-month trial of Skillshare, so you can start exploring your creativity today. Okay, now that we've got all that out of the way, who is ready to see what is in our February tiered tray box? If you have never gotten one of my tiered tray boxes before, you're going to be in for a super duper treat, because y'all, I have literally thought of everything. I really put a lot of thought and a lot of time when I design these boxes for y'all, because I want you to love them as much as I do. I include in every month, I put a little string that you can use to make a tassel that for your one of your little pieces in here. I'm not going to give it away just yet. I also give you the matching string for your garland. Every single box every month has a garland with it. Y'all, I even give you the stands. Each of your big pieces is going to come with its very own stand, so now you don't have to wonder, how in the world am I going to keep this standing up on my tiered tray? And y'all, put a lot of thought and a lot of time into packaging. I do have the separate little pieces in its own little bubble wrapped package, and then the rest of your pieces are going to come with the shredded paper in your boxes. So are you ready to see what is all included in the February box? Let's hop on the workspace and let's get started. As you probably have guessed, the February box is all about Valentine's Day. Y'all, I had so much fun designing this box. Look at all the little scatter pieces here. I think they are so stinking cute. We've got our cute little cherub with our little Cupid and his little heart. I love the X and O with the lips. Y'all, the tic-tac-toe board is something that is extra special, because you can either glue this down and make it a stationary piece, or you can leave the little hearts and the X's separate, and you can use this as your very own tic-tac-toe board. I really hope y'all play around with all of these pieces. Mix and match them. You don't have to do just what I'm doing. Think outside the box and be totally creative. Okay, y'all, now that you have seen the box, if you want to watch me paint that, then definitely keep watching. If not, if you want to hop on over and get your box while it's still available, I'll have the link to that down in the description box below. Before we get started painting, though, I do want to give you some options for your box. You honestly can follow me perfectly along just like I'm doing, or you can kind of challenge yourself to think outside the box. You want to kind of move your pieces around. Think of this as your own personal, like, grown-up paper dolls. So you can put your February the 14th this way with your lips like this. You could even turn your February to the side and put your lips up here. Y'all, it is totally up to you. You can paint this heart to be shiplap by painting it all white, or you could get fun and creative and do a black and white alternating stripe, Or if you don't want the stripes, you can just paint it a solid color. You also have the option of flipping it over onto the back if you don't want any lines at all. I really try to think about these things, and I try to give y'all the options when I'm designing these for you. So something else that I want to point out is you're going to get extra pieces in your set on purpose. So like on this little envelope here that says P.S. I love you, you've got this outside piece. This piece you can keep on here if you like the way it looks, but that is merely for shipping purposes and to keep your little delicate pieces intact. It also helps to make it a little bit easier to paint, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a few minutes. We'll get to that later. But I do want to point out that some of these things are meant to be taken out. Now, this is the little tic-tac-toe board that I was talking about earlier. So this is the way I have it designed, but honestly, this piece in the middle is just for shipping. We're not going to be gluing that down, and this is what you're going to be left with. You've got your cute little tic-tac-toe board. This tic-tac-toe board can be functional if you don't want to glue down your X's and your hearts, and that is why I gave you extra little heart pieces that are going to come in that little bag that I showed you in the intro. So you can actually use this as a functioning tic-tac-toe board, but this is just something that is going to be tossed into the trash, or honestly, you could actually put these pieces back in there and use it for something else, but it's not designed to do that. But if you feel the need to, then by all means, go for it. Something else that is super cute are these cute little hearts and these arrows. So you can either glue these together like this if you want to make it look like your arrow is going through your heart, or you can use these just as scatter pieces onto your tiered tray. You can also use these little hearts anywhere on your pieces. Now this little guy, he has a bigger arrow. So if you want to kind of make one of these look like it's going through his heart, you can definitely do that. But I want you to get fun. I want you to get creative and just have a blast when you're painting these. What I like to do is to get everything painted first, and then I like to place everything down and give me some different options before I start gluing it down. This is something else that is super cute. So I designed this lock and key to go like this into our little round one. But guess what? It would also be cute to put one of your little cherubs in there. So don't think you have to do exactly what I'm showing you here. It would also be cute to do your lock and your key kind of sideways. Maybe have some of it going off to the side. It is totally up to you. Isn't that cute? You can even put your P.S. I love you here. These are just meant to be super fun and interchangeable so that you can have a blast. Okay, so we are about to jump in and look at our color palette, and we're going to start painting. If you want to follow along, then keep watching this video. And y'all, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, because that would mean the world to me. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, consider hitting that subscribe button down below and turn on all those notifications if you don't want to miss anything I've got coming your way. So let's look at the paint palette today. You know, I cannot paint anything without putting a little bit of turquoise, and this Ocean Breeze by Craft Mart is my #1 most favorite turquoise color ever. That's the only Craft Mart color I'm going to be using today. The other colors are going to be all Arteza colors. So I've got some titanium white. I'm going to put a little bit of gold in there just because I like it. Let's throw in a little bit of lilac. I love all the pastel colors. We're going to use some rose pink. I'm going to use some watermelon pink. And then I lied and told you that we were going to be using all other Arteza paints, but I forgot about this folk art color that is called Minted Aqua. I think it's a super nice complement to the Ocean Breeze. The other ones, I promise y'all, are all of the rest Arteza. So then we've got some Candy Apple and some Mars Black. I'm not going to paint all of the same pieces on camera just because I don't want to waste your time. If you've seen me paint one, you've seen me paint 100. When I paint my trays, I do like to use foam brushes for a lot of the projects. They cover a lot of ground super quick, and it gives you a super consistent result. The ones that I really like to use are the foam shape set. I picked this up from Michael's. It's a Craft Mark brand, and I think I paid like $7 or $8. And yes, they are funky little shapes, but sometimes those funky little shapes come in handy. You get lots of all these different sizes. These did not come with it. These are just some I stuck down in there. But y'all, you get lots of variety in this set. So I'm just going to grab a couple of these, and we're going to get started. Okay, so let's grab our paint palette, also known as a Dollar Tree glass plate. And I'm going to first start off with my white. I'm going to move these paints out of the way so I can see just a little bit better. And y'all, I'm also going to be trying something new. I've never done this before, but it's something that I've always wanted to do. I'm going to be using some paper. I've got this really pretty craft paper, scrapbook paper that I picked up for 69 cents. I think I got it from Hobby Lobby. It's the Buffalo Plaid, and I think it's going to go really cute with our black and white theme with our pastel colors. So I want to cover the back side of our Happy Valentine's Day with this paper. And while I'm thinking about it, I probably ought to do that before I start painting. So let's just grab this really quickly and do that. I've got way too much stuff on my workspace today, so I'm just going to move it out of the way. This is so much fun to me. Okay, so I do want to start off with some Mod Podge, and if you wanted to, you could just paint this, but ever since I've designed the tiered trays, I've always had the idea of decoupaging the back of one of the big signs. And because it's a new year, and I have promised myself to try new things, I'm sticking to that promise. I can't wait to see how y'all paint your trays. Don't forget, follow me on all of my social media. You can find all of the links down in the description box, especially on Facebook, Instagram. If you want to tag me in your pictures when you post them, I would love to see what y'all make. Also, I have a Facebook group. We have a lot of fun over there. I've got the link in the description box for that as well. If you want to hop on over there, then definitely jump in and find us there. So I really need to be careful, and I need to make sure that I sort of line this up. I'm going to put this on here, and then I'm just going to take my rotary cutter and I'm just going to cut the excess off that way. Oh my goodness. I think I also might want to cover this little piece here, and I might do that while I've got this out. Okay, that is going to be so cute, isn't it? Oh my goodness. You could even turn it on the diamond shape here, and I think that would be super cute as well. Look how precious. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself though. So now we're back to our white. So let's grab our little P.S. I love you. And I do want to paint my stationery with the white. When I paint, I do like to start with my lightest colors first. That way I don't really have to worry about staying in the lines too much, because the darker color is going to cover it. Now, the little love sign, this is what is going to be on our little tag or tassel. I designed it so that it's easy to paint by separating all of these words, or the letters. And then I'm just going to paint the big heart in the back with my white. Next, I want to paint the outline for my love sign. Now, for my February the 14th, I'm going to go with a black and white theme, but I'm just going to go ahead and paint the whole heart white. I think it's just going to make it easier. I don't have to worry about staying in the lines, and the black is going to go over that white super easy. You could also use some of, you could also use some of your paper if you wanted to cover this, and decoupage it as well. How pretty would it be to use a pretty napkin on here? I know Dollar Tree has some super pretty napkins with like flowers and stuff on them. I think that would be really pretty. I want to paint our back of our XO. Now, I will tell you, if you have a lot of your background pieces that are just going to be totally solid, you could also use some spray paint. That would save you a lot of time, and you could probably get away with just doing one coat on that. Next, I want to use my gold. I don't have too much that I want to paint with the gold, but I do love pops of gold. I want to do my little arrows. I think these are so cute. If you wanted to, you could definitely go in and put a lot of detail on these little arrows if you wanted to come back with a tiny little paintbrush and add in some details. You could even paint the whole thing gold. I'm just going to do the back side because I think I'm going to go in and paint maybe some different colors onto the hearts. I really love this gold from Arteza, and it's just gold in their craft colors. I won't paint all of these on camera, but when we get ready to set our tray up, they'll all be done. So I'll do the rest of them off camera. And then I want also the inside of my little envelope here to be gold. And again, notice I'm really not trying to keep this off of the heart because the heart color is going to be darker than this one. So it's going to be super easy to paint over. I also just want the very top of my lock here to be gold. I don't want the whole thing to be gold. Next, I want to go in with my Ocean Breeze. This is a craft mark color. And with this color, I want to paint my Happy Valentine's Day sign. I'm going to put in the piece that came with it for shipping. It's going to make it a lot easier to paint. And then I'm just going to grab one of my little foam brushes. I'm not going to get it on everything. I don't want this heart right here to be painted, but I do want all of the words to be painted. Okay, now we can just lift it up. Look how cute that's going to be. Let's see what it looks like. Oh my goodness, so cute. I also think I want to do my February the 14th. I honestly have not made up my mind on exactly what color I want to paint my tic-tac-toe board yet. So I'm just going to leave that not with anything on it. But I do want to paint the X's on my XO sign. Y'all, I also have this XO sign actually blown up and available right now on my website as a door hanger. It is really cute, and it's actually a long door hanger. So if you go to the website and go to my shop page, you'll see it, and it's like XO, XO. So it goes up and down like this versus in a square. It's super, super cute. I have that hanging in my kitchen on my pantry door. And the lips for this, I think I'm going to do red. I just love turquoise and red together. Now while I've got this on here, I think I am going to go ahead and start painting my red. That is such a beautiful red. It's called Candy Apple. I also want to do some pink lips. The ones that I have on my pantry door are actually done in a neon pink, and they are so hysterical. I also gave you a lot of the little scatter pieces that you can use on different parts, or you can just use as the decorations for your tray as a little filler. So you've got lots of lips to choose from. And I'm not really even worried about staying in the lines on these lips because I'm going to be going back in and outlining them anyway with the black. I do have the lines on these pieces scored, so even after they're painted, you can still see it. And I'll try to hold it up to the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. I hope the camera picks it up. So you can still see the scored lines. Your red, if you want to leave your lines dark, you can take either a foam brush or you can take a flat brush. You can just lay it over to the side and you can leave those dark outlines. But for this big sign, I really wanted to be able to go back in and paint those. Just know if this is the look you're going for, that will save you some outlining if you just lay that brush to the side. So I think I want to paint the outside edge of this one red. See how quick it is to paint with those foam brushes. And that's going to be really cute. Also, the end of our little arrows, I want those to be red hearts too. Videos. This is my first time to paint these. I don't practice it beforehand. I just kind of sit down with my colors and just kind of go at it. Okay, I'm liking it so far. And off camera, I'll paint the rest of the hearts. So now let's grab some of our rose pink. And I want to paint my little cherubs, our little cute little cupids here. I want to paint those this pretty pink. If you wanted to, you could definitely add in details for these. If you want to paint them little faces and whatnot, you can definitely do that, but I just want their little silhouettes. One thing I didn't show you that you could do with these after they're dry, you could actually glue them together. You could glue the hearts on top of each other like that, and you could make that its own little sign. I think that would be really cute. Okay, so let's grab one of our next little conversation heart. And if you want to paint this so that the lines show, you could do that the same way that we did the other, our little lips. But I'm just going to go back in with a fine brush and paint my inside red. I also want to paint our little hearts on our big Happy Valentine's Day sign in the pink. Okay, so now let's break out the other pink. This is a watermelon pink. And I don't need too much of this because I don't have much that I want to paint with this color. I just wanted a little bit darker pink, but not necessarily a red. This together, I think I'm going to go back in with that really pretty light pink that we just used and paint the top half of this pink. And then the bottom, I'm going to go back in with the gold. I still have some gold on my palette. Okay, so I'm going to take just a second and wash all of this out, and then I'll come back and then we'll start fresh with the rest of our colors. Okay, y'all, so I have done quite a bit of work off camera, only because it was pretty much repetitive work. I did, as you can see here, I covered the back of our checkerboard in that same buffalo plaid paper, just like we did with these two pieces, but I lined it up perfect so that the middle of the checkerboard is actually, whoops, the checkerboards actually line up on our paper. Didn't that turn out cute? You could actually even get away with not even putting the grid on if you wanted to. And I did, like I said earlier, include extra little pieces if you actually want to play the game versus gluing this down. So I'm going to paint the outside of our little checkerboard game black. You can see I also went ahead and outlined some of our pieces with my black marker. And y'all, these Arteza acrylic markers in the fine nib are absolutely awesome. If you want to check these out, I'll put a link to them down in the description box below. I'm using the black one and the red one. I went ahead and outlined some of my little conversation hearts. I'm going to show you how easy that is to do. But first, I want to finish up my painting before we do our details. So I still have to do black. I still have to do some things purple, I believe. Let's see. No, I actually think I got everything painted purple off camera. I did a few of the little hearts. I did this one, this one. I didn't do a lot of purple. I just wanted a few things purple, and then the ends of some of our little arrows there. So we can put the purple away. So we just have the mint and the black to do. So again, this is a folk art color and it's called Minted Aqua. This is a really, really pretty light aqua color. I did do one of my conversation hearts already, and I did go ahead and outline that. I'm going to show y'all that in just 1 second. And actually, I did find something I wanted to paint purple, and that was these two tiny little hearts on here. So I am going to need just a wee bit of purple. And that's probably way too much. I'm going to just paint over the heart in the middle because I'm going to be gluing the actual heart on, so I'm not worried about that. And I kept tossing around, did I want to do this Minted Aqua color for the envelope, or did I want to do the turquoise that I'm so fond of? So in the end, I decided we were going to do the envelope this color, and then where the envelope meets for these lines, I'm going to do those in that darker shade. It's just to pick up some shadows. Now, I did go ahead and stack up some of my little cherubs here, and I really like the way this looks, but I want to bring in some of this aqua color. These aren't glued down yet, so I think I'm going to add in this heart on both of my little cupids, cherub cupids, whatever you want to call them. And I have changed my mind. I want to paint these aqua. Y'all, that is the beauty of painting. If you don't like it, guess what? You just paint over it. Isn't that cute? I think I definitely like it better being two-toned like this. Let's see what that's going to look like. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. Let's see if this is enough to put another coat on. I don't want it to be totally dry. because while it's still a little bit wet, I want to be able to take my darker turquoise and add in those shadows and blend my colors. So I'll add just a drop of that in here. And watch how easy this is. We'll just put a little bit of this on that same brush. You want your colors to kind of blend together. And you can still see your scored lines because I score them deep enough so that you can still see them when they're painted. And I'll just take it and just sort of blend in that darker color on the outside. Okay, so now we are ready for our little hearts here. This is a pretty purple. I'll pick up a couple of the pieces that I've already got done just so you can see them finished and see all the details, but I really love the way that everything looks outlined, especially the conversation hearts. I think it sort of brings in sort of that pop art element, and I just love that look. I think it's super fun. And I'm going to show you an easy way to outline. It's super easy. Okay. Now we just need to paint our I love you. P.S. I love you. Move this out of the way. I'm going to pop this back down into the offset here because it's going to make it lots easier to paint. Let's see. I think I want this little flat brush. You can use one of your foam brushes if you want to, but I know I'm going to be using a flat brush for painting this, so I'm not even going to worry about messing up another brush. I'll just do it with the flat one. See how much easier it is to paint if you leave it inside its little outline. Kind of gives you something to grab onto. And I know originally I said I wanted to paint my heart, this heart, the black and white stripes, but I think I've changed my mind on that too because I love the way the clean lines look of just the white. My husband would say he is not surprised that I've changed my mind. Okay, so now I'm just going to set this to the side. Let's paint the outside of our little tic-tac-toe board. So let me know, are you going to glue your tic-tac-toe board down so that it can't be played, or are you going to leave the pieces apart so that they can actually be played as a game? I think that is such a super fun idea to play it as a game. What's your favorite element for the box this month? I think the tic-tac-toe board might be my favorite. Although the lips are really fun. Most of the outline I'm going to do with my marker, my paint pen, my Arteza paint pen, but I do want to outline this little heart here. Y'all look how cute that is. Oh my stars, I can't even stand it. Okay, so let's just pick up these pieces. And you can still see the lines if you did want to paint this, the stripes. But I really, really love the way the clean lines look. So I'm just going to take my brush that I just used to paint the black, and I want to outline this just a little bit with that black paint. And I like to lay the brush on the side and just sort of do a little sketching motion. If you outline like this, you don't have the pressure of trying to get it perfect. It just kind of gives it more of that pop art look and feel. But you still get a lot of great detail. You can definitely take your time. If you don't want it to have that look. But I love that pop art look. That kind of messy look. Let's see if I can get these lined back up. Once all of our pieces are dry, we'll start gluing everything down. I'm not for sure if I'm going to leave the little arrow at the top or not, but I think it's super cute. Okay, so I honestly think that is all of the pieces that we need to paint. Let's go ahead and take this out before it dries too much. Now, one thing I haven't painted yet are my stands, but I usually just paint those black, and I'll do that off camera and I won't bore you with that. So now, let's move our paints out of the way. Let's look over everything one more time, make sure I haven't missed anything, and look here, I did miss something. I missed our cute little love sign. Let's go ahead and paint this fella. How could I miss him? He's so stinking cute. And I don't want to dirty up another brush, so I'm just going to use the same one. Okay, I'm just going to set this over here to dry. And now I think we're ready to outline. So the first thing I want to outline is our words. And for this one, I'm using the Arteza Fine Nib paint marker. These are acrylic, and this color is called Vermilion. But y'all, these tips on these markers are so fine, and they're not a felt tip. It's actually a plastic nib. So you get a great, great point. These come in a box of 40, and again, we'll put the link to them down below if you want to check them out. So after I painted all of my hearts, I did put a really thin coat of Mod Podge over the top of these just to make it a little bit easier if we had any bleed through. And y'all, look how easy it is to fill in these letters. You can actually hand paint these if you have a super steady hand, but when you can get this look this quick, honestly, it's not even worth trying to hand paint it. So I'll let that dry, and then I'll put another coat on them. These actually have 2 coats, and you can see it's just a little bit darker. So now we're going to grab our black one. This is from that same set of 40. And we are just going to use a sort of sketching motion. And if you see that your nib is not, if you don't have much paint flowing, just grab a scrap piece of paper and kind of push down. And for this one, we're just going to do the same thing we did with our brush and just sort of use that sketching motion. When you use that sketching motion, it takes all of the fear out of something being perfect when you outline it. And when you get your kit, if you don't want the conversation hearts, if you would rather just have plain hearts, I've actually designed these so that you can flip them over and you can use the back side and have a plain heart. Aren't those cute? Okay, so I did outline the small little lips. I pretty much outlined everything the same way. These are super cute. I outlined our cute little cherub, our cute little Cupid. And I think it just kind of makes everything pop a little bit more. Another thing that I really like to do is just kind of take your marker and sort of do a little line and then a dot. I think that just adds a little bit of character. And we'll do this little angel, cherub, Cupid the same way. If you want to practice with that sketching motion before you work on your pieces, you can definitely do that. Just grab some scrap pieces of wood or plastic, paper, pretty much anything, just so you can get that motion down. Okay, isn't that cute? So now we'll go back and we will outline our little X's. So this is going to be our little heart that goes inside our little letter. Isn't that sweet? But I think it still needs to be outlined. Okay, so now all that's left to do is to outline our little letter, and y'all, I think we are ready to start gluing everything down. Now we'll share with you, I'll show you this a little bit up close. You can see I did outline a little bit of this, and I added in some of the same little details that we did in the XO. Okay, so now we are ready to glue everything down, and for that I'm going to use my medium Star Bond adhesive. You can also use a E6000, you can use super glue, pretty much anything that is going to give you a pretty good bond, and you want it to dry pretty quick. So let's start with this guy. I'm going to add just a little bit of my glue. You could also use a wood glue. I like the Star Bond glue though because it dries super fast. It's a CYA glue. It's going to give you an instant bond, and the tip on it is like super precision. Okay, one down. Next I want to go with this little guy. He should be dry. Okay, that is so stinking cute. Now let's glue together our XOXO lips. Now let's glue our little cherubs, our little let's see. Let's do this. This is our little cupids. Isn't that cute? And y'all feel free, just get creative. If you don't like the way this looks, guess what? You can put your pieces together any way you like. Now let's do our P.S. I love you. And you can actually use this to center up your design if you want to. Isn't that adorable? And I think the gold inside for that gold foil lined envelope was just the perfect touch. So I'm really digging the way this looks. I think I'm going to keep that there. I've got a dilemma with these two, and I'm going to make this decision in just a second. But I want to go ahead and glue these pieces down next. So if you want to pick up some of this same buffalo plaid paper, you can find this at Hobby Lobby. It just so happened that it fit perfect in these grids that I had already designed. This was totally an accident. I didn't plan for that to happen. It just did. So I say it was meant to be. And I do want to use mine as an actual game, so I'm not going to glue the X's and the O's down. I'll just glue the outside edge on. I love this. So now you can actually play. So let's go ahead and glue this little love sign together. And you can see I'm really not putting glue on everything. I'm just putting mainly on the edges and then maybe something in the center. It's not like we're building a house. We're not putting a lot of pressure or anything on these little designs. So the whole thing doesn't actually have to be covered. So I really love the way the buffalo plaid looks on these two designs, but I'm worried that it might be just a little bit too busy for the look that I'm going for. So I've actually painted my back sides, and I just want to flip these over and just see if I like this better. And as much as I love the buffalo plaid, I really think I like the way that this looks better. So I think I am going to actually make an executive decision, change my mind yet again, and this is the look I'm going with. If you think I'm wrong and I should have totally gone with the buffalo plaid, let me know down in the comments below. I'm proud of myself for trying something new. I made that promise to myself that I would try new things this year, but I didn't say I had to like it. Isn't that precious? This is going to be so stinking cute on our tray. Okay, so now all that's left to do is to make our tassel. So you want to take your loops and you want to take your 12-inch string. You just want to thread it through the top. And you want your ends to be hanging down from your loops. Next, we're just going to tie a knot in the top. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. If you want to use your hot glue gun, you definitely can, but I like doing my tassels this way because there's no hot glue involved at all. So now you're just going to take your tassels. You're going to take these two loops at the top, your long ones from your 12-inch strand. You're going to have one of those hanging down. You're going to take the other one. You're going to pull down the top so it looks like this. Then you're going to pull this finger down. You just want to wrap that around about twice. And then when you come around to the other side, you want to thread it through. So it's just like wrap, wrap, thread. We're going to do the same thing with this side, only we're going to go the opposite way. So we're going to wrap, wrap. That was the wrong way. Wrap, wrap, thread through the top. Now you just want to pull it all tight. And now we have a tassel that didn't require us to have any glue. Now we've got to cut our loops at the bottom and it is ready to put on. I like to kind of fluff it out a little bit. Then you're probably going to have some that need a little haircut. So we'll just cut those all to be the same size. Now you can turn around and string some beads onto this if you want to. In that case, you would want to tie this onto maybe some jute cord, or if you want to pick up some more of this string, I got it from Michael's, but I just kind of like to tie it straight on to my little dangle. I don't really do the farmhouse beads. My tray doesn't really give me the room for that, but I do like to have a little tassel. And there we are, y'all. Isn't that cute? I just love this. Okay, y'all, I think we are all done with everything for our tray. I'm going to get it all set up, and then when I come back, I'll have it all ready so you can see the finished product. Do you love this tray? Which one is your favorite piece? Let me know what you think about this. Also, don't forget, if you want to check out the Arteza paint pens, you want to check out the Star Bond glue. If you want to buy your own Valentine's Day paintable tiered tray kit, I'll have all of that down in the description box below. That does it for today's video, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the February tier tray as much as I do. If you want to check out the tray for your very own, all you've got to do is use the link down in my description box. It's going to take you right to my website. You can get it ordered. They're shipping out right now, so you'll have them in time to paint and put out for your Valentine's Day decor. If you've got some ideas on a future box that you'd like to see, also let me know those down in the comments as well too. Also, don't forget about that free trial of Skillshare, y'all. It really is totally free. I want y'all to start learning stuff with me. If you want to take a class together, that would be so much fun too. Check out Skillshare and let me know if there's something you think I should take. I've got to run for now, y'all. Until next time, happy DIYing, y'all.